Have you ever created a vision board? If you haven't, have you ever thought about success, the life that you want to achieve, and thought, if I think positively, because they tell us that's what we should do, think positively, we'll be able to bring it to life. Yet you've woken up months, years, maybe even decades later, and realize that you haven't actually created that life. And instead, you feel dejected, you feel unfulfilled, and you feel like maybe there's something wrong with you. Maybe it's you that hasn't done what needs to be done to achieve success. University of California and the University of Pennsylvania have done research and found that positive visualization can actually be detrimental to you achieving success. So if you've created a vision board, if you've been thinking positively, it may actually be holding you back. So maybe you're not the problem. Maybe the problem is you need to go beyond the vision board. You need a framework to help you achieve the successful life that you want. It's not you. You're just lacking the framework. But what is the framework? So, okay, Daniella, we're doing it wrong. We're not doing it right. How do we do it correctly? Well, I want to use an example. Pineapple upside down cake. How many of you like pineapple upside down cakes? I love pineapple upside down cake. I'm going to talk a lot about pineapple upside down cake. I'm a big fan. And I'm going to use it to kind of explain how we could be going beyond the vision board to achieve a life of success. So if we're going to take the kind of positive visualization and thinking positive and the vision board as an approach, imagine a friend comes and they ask you, they assign a task and say, we want to organize an event, we want you to organize the event, and the pinnacle of the event is going to be a platter of pineapple upside down cakes. And you're saying, okay, I'm going to try that. So that's the vision. The vision is this event with this platter of pineapple upside down cakes. What the vision board tells us to do, or what positive visualization would expect us to do, is we cut out loads of pictures of pineapple upside down cakes and pictures of events, and we'd close our eyes, and we'd think positively, and we'd think positively, and we'd think positively, and we'd wake up and bam, here's the event, and here's the pineapple upside down cakes. How likely is it that that's going to actually happen? Because if it was, I'd have a platter of pineapple upside down cakes backstage right now. When you look at it in those kind of terms, it doesn't necessarily make the most sense. So what do we do? How do we make it make sense? Well, there's a number of things. One of the key things, or one of the key areas that is often missing when we're achieving or going out to achieve success, is all of the different facets of our life. When we're thinking about success, what we often do is we are one-dimensional with it. We focus on our careers. If we run businesses, we focus on having a vision for our business, or we focus on a vision for life, particularly in a vision board. You see these vision boards and they've got mansions, they've got these big cars, they've got the beaches, but actually we're multidimensional human beings. Our lives are interconnected. We have values and morals and things that drive us and that are important to us. If we're not taking those things into consideration when planning for success, but those things are taking up our time, they're taking up our resources, they're taking up our energy, then how is it possible that we're going to achieve success if we're not taking those things into consideration? I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner. If I don't take those things into consideration when planning the vision for success, even though those things are important to me, when I'm juggling all of those things, how am I able to do it? Going back to the pineapple upside down cake, if I know I've got a date that I need to organize this event and bake these pineapple upside down cakes, but I don't take into consideration the school run, the laundry that never ends, this everlasting laundry. If I don't think about the time that it's going to take me to do all of those things, it's likely that I'm going to run out of time and I'm not going to be able to effectively do the things that I know that I want to do. And this is what we often do. We're multifaceted human beings. The 4th century physician, Hippocrates, said that we should take a holistic approach and look at all of the different areas of our life. Yet we often have a one-track mind. And then we wonder why we're not able to achieve success. Maybe you have clarity on your vision. Maybe you include all of the different areas. Maybe you know what success looks and feels like to you, and it incorporates your values. Maybe you've got all of that and you're sitting and you're thinking, well, actually, Daniela, I already know this stuff. Maybe you are. But do you have an action plan to help you get there? We can get overwhelmed with the magnitude of our vision because we don't actually know what we need to do or how we need to do it to achieve it. Research has proven that those who have actionable goals are 40% more likely to achieve them in the long run than those who don't. Yet, do we have actionable goals? Going back to this pineapple upside down cake, I told you I'm going to talk about it a lot. The goals and your action plan are in the baking process, let's say, your ingredients and your recipe. You need both of them. Would you go and try to make all of these cakes without having the recipe and without having the ingredients? Would you throw all of the things in and just hope for the best? Yeah, that's what we do with our lives. We don't have the ingredients, we don't have the recipe, and we just wait for something positive and great to happen. And then it doesn't, and we're disappointed. But actually, if you have the goals that tell you what you need to be doing to achieve the vision, and if you're breaking it down into actionable steps, then now we know what we need to do. We collect all the ingredients and we follow the recipe. But even with that, what if you don't know how to bake a cake? What if you don't have baking skills? Is the cake going to come out right? Probably not. How many of you have baked a cake and it didn't rise? I've done that many times. And actually, the fact that I have the recipe and I have the ingredients doesn't mean that the cake is going to come out correctly if I don't have baking skills. But what if we actually took the time to increase our skills, identify the skills that we need to help us get to the vision? We practiced. Maybe we take a baking course. Maybe we watch 20 episodes of Bake Off and try to follow what they're doing and hope for the best. Isn't it much more likely that those cakes are going to come out and look fantastic? Of course. Research by Dr. Cecil K. Cho says that individuals that set challenging goals that challenge them, are much more effective in achieving success and happier in the long run. Why do you think that is? Well, first and foremostly, when we're setting easy goals, because again, you may be sitting and thinking, well, I've got the vision, Daniela, I have the goals and the action plan, and actually I've got the skills, but are you challenging yourself enough? And if you're not getting the gratification and the satisfaction that comes when you achieve a big goal. How many of you, and I've done this so many times, how many of you have created a to-do list and you've got loads of hard things that you need to do on that to-do list, but you've also got a few easy things, and you put all the easy things at the top, and you jump in at those things straight away and you start ticking them off, and you're feeling really good, like I've done 7 things on my to-do list, even though those 7 things were the easiest things in the world for you to do. How many of you have done that? But actually, not only how many of you have done that, how many of you have moved away from whatever it is that you were doing, gone and done something really simple, something incredibly simple that took you all of 2 minutes, and then you've gone back and you've written it in on the to-do list, and you've ticked it off, and you've given yourself a pat on the back and said, yes, I've accomplished something today. We've all done it. And it's natural because we want that instant gratification. But that instant gratification isn't going to give you the long-term satisfaction and motivation that you need to be able to accomplish your goals, even if you have the skills and even if you have the action plan. So we need to set challenging goals, yet we often don't do that. And why don't we do that? It's because we're scared often that if we set too big goals, if the goals are too big, that actually we're not going to be able to achieve them. But what if you did achieve them? What if you did set big, ambitious goals and you accomplished them? How much more confident would you feel tackling the next goal? How much more comfortable and confident would you feel in how likely it is that you're going to achieve success? Much more. So we've done all of that. We've got our vision, we're clear on the vision, we've got our goals, we've got our actions, we've got the skills, we know what we're doing. Now we need to take action. We need to take action to accomplish all of these things that we're setting out to accomplish. But taking action is hard. And we don't always do so because, as we've already established, we are multifaceted individuals. We have responsibilities pulling us from left to right. And actually, finding the time to take consistent action isn't always as easy as it seems when you write it down on paper. And that's where we need to be accountable. We need accountability and self-accountability first and foremostly. Know yourself. So I know that if I've got 100 cakes to bake, I need to be practicing and doing that and kind of getting into the habit so that the end result is great. But if I'm doing the shopping, if I'm doing this everlasting laundry that we've spoken about, I'm just going to be tired at the end of the day, and maybe I don't feel like baking cakes today. So what do? I get somebody to hold me accountable. The person that asks me checks in. How many cakes have you tried to bake this week? Research has shown that if you have just one, check in with an accountability person, whether that be a coach, a mentor, an accountability buddy, a friend, whatever that is, just one session per week, you are 95% more effective at achieving your goals than those who do not. Yet we don't get accountable. I love cake. I love food. I live for food. Food is life for me. But I also know that my big vision includes me being fit, it includes me having energy, and therefore I need to exercise. I hate exercise. I hate exercise. I couldn't think of anything worse. It's torture. But I take self-accountability because I know that, but I know I also need to be fit. I have a personal trainer that shows up at my house every week, multiple times a week, even when I cancel. He's at the door, knocking the door and saying, let's go and exercise. He also checks in to make sure that I'm not eating too much cake. But that's because I know that that's what I need. We often don't get that accountability. We don't ask for a coach. We don't work with an accountability buddy because we know that if we do, they're going to hold us accountable. And that's what we fear, because we know being held accountable means we have to take action. We have to do it. And if we do it and we don't succeed, then what does that mean? We wait till we're ready. But when is ready? What if you're never ready? You need to get the accountability first. The accountability will help you become ready. And then they say you need to believe in yourself to achieve. Believe and you will achieve. But do you need to believe in yourself to achieve your vision, to achieve success, to accomplish your goals? I'm going to say maybe you don't. Maybe you don't need to believe. Maybe what you need to believe in is the process. So if we go back to the pineapple upside down cake, if we have clarity on the cake, we know what we're trying to do, we know what the vision looks like, we know we've accommodated for all of our different responsibilities. If we have the action plan, if we have the skills, we've done the baking course, if we have accountability, somebody is checking in with us to make sure that we're achieving it, then don't we believe in the framework? And if we believe in the framework, then we don't need to believe in ourselves. Because in following the framework, we will get the results and the belief will come. So actually, we need to believe in the process as opposed to believing in ourselves. And then we will bake our platter of beautiful upside-down cakes. We will achieve our vision. So do we say, let's throw positive visualization, let's throw the vision boards in the bin, it's not going to work? Like Daniella's saying it's wrong, I'm never going to use it again. No, I'm not saying that. And actually, positive visualization can be really useful in overcoming obstacles. I have overcome obstacles, and it's not because I had a vision board, and it's not because I only had positive thinking. I did have a vision board, it didn't work out, threw it in the bin, but the positive visualization aspect did work, because when I grew my first business, I grew it to 6 figures. I had a team of staff, I was winning awards, I was on the front of the magazines and the newspapers, and I was living what I felt was a successful life. And then I wasn't. I lost it all. The business went from 6 figures to minus figures. I went from 8 members of staff to 1 member of staff. I was heavily pregnant, and I was on the floor. And it would have been at that time that I said, actually, success is not for me. Maybe it's time that I give up. But instead, I focused on the framework. And focusing on the framework helped me bounce back. I had clarity on where I was trying to go, the values that were important to me, the responsibilities, all of the areas of my life that meant success. I created an action plan that included goals to help me achieve it. I went out and acquired the skills. I did my MBA and kind of looked at where I'd gone wrong in my first business. I got mentors and coaches and a personal trainer to help me stay accountable to moving forward. I believed in the process, and I visualized what that success would look like. So there is a place for visualization, but maybe it's part of the wider framework. So the question is, and I'm posing this question to you, is it possible that the reason you're not living the successful life that you dream of isn't because you're not worthy? It's not because you're not enough. Maybe it's because you haven't been given the right framework to enable you to achieve that success. And with the right framework, and with you being an active participant and taking action towards achieving success, maybe you'll be able to achieve it. Maybe the thing that's been holding you back is that you haven't gone beyond the vision board. And if you do, you'll be able to create the life of your dreams.